Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. The show is designed to give you solutions to your day-to-day management and leadership problems. It's hosted by Matthew Haddock, a frontline manager and leader with over 25 years of experience. If you're ready, then let's get on with the show.
Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. I do hope you are so well and getting the results you need out of your team in whatever way you can. Obviously in the right way, because you're listening to the show. This week I want to talk about the way that we can develop talent within our teams. It's really important as a leader that you are embracing the fact that your team have talent. They have got skills that you won't have. If not, then why have them? When you've got a team around you, you've got to be looking at how everyone has got a talent and everyone has a part to play. It can be quite difficult, especially if you're a person who likes to get things done and you're very much a doer, to slip into the way of the facts that you can do everything, that everything you are doing can be done, that you think you've got the most knowledge, you've got the input that you can do in things like, planning, for instance. You're the best planner. You can do materials, you can do the actual physical planning of your staff. You think you're brilliant at the technical side of things. How a product works, how the mechanics of it works. You think you're an engineer or an electrician. You think you can fix that. You think you're the sales director. You think you can go out and sell. You think you're the customer service rep, or you think you're the operations guy. Now, you might have a foot in every one of those camps. And of course, the higher up you are and the more experience you get, you will have an understanding of each of them. My own experience, I come from an engineering background. So I was an engineer by trade, therefore I do have a working understanding of the mechanics of the past machines and hopefully some of the machines that are still running. But that doesn't make me an expert, and it doesn't make me an expert engineer or even an engineering manager, because things have moved on and changed. But I've got a working understanding. And that's what you've got to think of. You've probably come into leadership through a couple of routes. You've either done it through a course and through a degree or through some sort of further education or on-the-job training. Or you may have come through the ranks of being promoted from a job to the next level and continued on a career path or a traditional career path. I mean, there's not many traditional career paths around now, is there, to be fair? There's lots of paths, but they are less sort of traditional as they've been before. Lots of them have twists and turns as you move up and round the corner. I mean, as I say, I started as an engineer, thought that was going to be for me, took on projects, moved to the next level, thought this is brilliant, this is something I want to do. But then I hit a bit of a glass ceiling, couldn't move any further forward, so decided to move into operations management. So take a swift change and step to the left. So I went off onto that side of things. Very different. You had to make sure that you were much more of a people person, because you had to manage people and their expectations. So I moved from engineering into operations. So I decided to change my path. And as you say, I then went into lean business and how we can make things better. This gave me a real good broad breadth of understanding of how things worked. But back to my point, talent development. How do you develop talent in your business or in your department to really make it work? And as I say, every time I do a show, I hope you're delivering success through your teams. I hope you're getting what you need from them. Now, they're not magically going to do it, and there's a number of casts that you can listen to about the fact that team development isn't something that magically happens. You might be lucky, and luck's something that we can't all rely on, that you get a team that are well-developed, well-rounded, and really want to deliver. But most of the time, it comes down to you as a leader to do a few things. First thing, how do you get your team to understand where they're going? How do they know what good looks like? What do you measure your team against? And then secondly, how do you give them the skills or the confidence to deliver against that plan? And that is the real art of leading, is to make sure that the team around you has got the skills and the knowledge and understanding and the drive to deliver. So how do you put them together? So you've got your team and they know where they're going. Your job is to help them get there. by clearing the path, by removing the blockers, by getting them the tools and the techniques that they need to go better tomorrow than they are today. If you sit around and wait, then there's two things going to happen. Well, there may be three. They might naturally, through some magic, all start to know exactly what they're doing, communicate really well, and push forward as a business. That could happen, no doubt about it. Or you do nothing and you leave them and they fail, and then you fail. Or you gave yourself a real plan to develop the techniques and the talent of your team. Every one of them will have a talent. And you should look at trying to balance your team, because what you will find is there'll be some people really strong, and you may have a couple of real good doers, for instance, in your team. So I'm quite a doing person. I like to get things done. I like to find solutions to problems. So you might end up with a team full of problem solvers who are great at getting out there. And I've spoken about that in the past before, about how you can have a team with too many of one. Or you might get a load of thinkers who are really good theoretical people who might wind the hell up of you because you're more of a doer. But what you've got to think as a leader is, overarchingly, what's the best balance? What is the best team balance that I need to make those targets happen? I need a blend of thinkers who are going to work through a problem, who are going to go away, come back with 4 or 5 well-rounded solutions. You're going to need doers who are going to get in there, roll the sleeves up, make those things happen. You're going to have people who are more around the personnel and how they think and feel. So you can have the kind of softer side of things in there. And you might have the ones who are more about energy, rah-rah, making things happen. And you're never going to get a perfect mix. You're never going to get all those people at the same time doing it. And you will form tensions in those teams, because naturally there is going to be tension. And you're going to pull that together as a leader. You're going to give them the direction. You're going to measure them against KPIs. You're going to clear the path and give them the tools you need. Well, that's it for Manager Matt this week. I do hope you've enjoyed the show. And of course, as ever, please send me any feedback. You can comment on wherever you're listening to the podcast. And thank you for listening. I do really appreciate the number of people listening. Thank you, the new listeners in the Bristol area who've really sort of taken to the show. And thank you for the contributions you've made. But if you do get a chance, there is managermattpodcast@gmail.com. I do read all your comments, and I have done Q&As. So if there's any questions you'd like to send in, please do that. Or you can message onto any of the platforms, as I've said. You can share it if you want. Please share it, send it on. Have a look at giving it to somebody else who may really enjoy and get benefit out of this show. Well, that's it for Manager Matt this week. Thank you so much for listening, and goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this Manager Matt podcast. We hope you found it interesting, helpful and actionable. One last thing, please leave a quick review on iTunes or with your podcast provider, as it helps to spread the word of Manager Matt. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the podcast. And if you did like anything in particular, send an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com or visit managermatt.co.uk for more content. Feedback is a gift, so let's keep giving. See you next week.